of the IEPA, directors, heads of departments, and other duty bearers of the university, faculty, administrators, and students, partners and stakeholders, and also those who are joining us online, the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Once again, good morning. On this day, the 9th of October 2025, the Times Higher Education, THE, released the 22nd edition of the World University Rankings performance. Globally, the annual Times Higher Education World University Ranking is regarded as one of the most prestigious global university rankings, as we all know. Indeed, the 2026 version of the World University Rankings comprises 2,191 institutions across 115 countries and territories worldwide, which qualified to be ranked. Colleagues, distinguished personalities, I wish to indicate that the rest were regarded as reporters because they could not meet the minimum criteria for ranking. This renders the Times Higher Education World University Ranking highly competitive. Undoubtedly, the annual Times Higher Education World University Ranking is the single most comprehensive global university rankings league table used to compare and judge research-intensive universities across each one of their 5 core missions, comprising teaching environment, research quality, international outlook, and industry or knowledge transfer. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I do have the singular honor and with great delight hereby announce to the entire university, stakeholders, and the general public, and the world at large, that the University of Cape Coast, UCC, has consolidated its position as the topmost #1 ranked university both in Ghana and West Africa. I thought that would attract a louder applause. And 11th in Africa in the 2026 Times Higher Education World University Ranking. Indeed, our current performance could be acronymized as 1111. So, #1 in Ghana, #1 in West Africa, and 11th in Africa. Distinguished colleagues and personalities, this sterling performance is extraordinary and has been consistent for the past 5 years. Additionally, permit me to mention that on the research quality pillar, UCC is #1 in Ghana and West Africa. Furthermore, UCC is among the top 11 universities in Africa and the only university in Ghana to be ranked among the top 11 universities in Africa. Indeed, UCC has also maintained its position as one of the world's leading research-intensive universities. Ladies and gentlemen, with this streak of excellence spanning half a decade, the University of Cape Coast has consistently demonstrated a sterling performance as a research-intensive university, not only in Ghana, West Africa, and Africa, but also globally. Within our national corridors, this feat is still a unique niche in the history of our university in the country. With this remarkable performance, UCC also remains the only university in Ghana which achieved this position in the West African sub-region in a consistent manner. Ladies and gentlemen, it is also important for us to underscore that UCC emerged as the top university in Ghana for quality education under SDG 4 in this year's Times Higher Education Impact Rankings, which were released earlier this year. We are proud of these achievements, and it's instructive to also add that overall, UCC also ranked number 1 on a tie sport. Is it with University of Ibadan? Which? Ashasi University, sorry. Sport in Ghana, yes, that's for Ghana. For the impact, yes. For the impact rankings. Again, UCC ranked 101 to 200 on quality education globally, and only university in Ghana that was ranked in 101 to 200 band, which is a high tier ranking on life below water, SDG 14. Our understanding is that it's only UCC that was ranked when it comes to life below water, the SDG impact ranking, SDG 14. These enviable impact rankings complement the current Times Higher Education World University performance of the university. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the aforementioned achievements are a testament to the high quality and reputable scholarly research outputs of UCC, particularly over the past decade. By these feats, UCC has also demonstrated its continuous and impactful scholarly contributions to the national, sub-regional, regional, and global higher education ecosystem. This emphasizes the relentless efforts and deep commitment of our entire faculty, staff, and students towards conducting cutting-edge and impactful research for societal relevance. The rigorous methodology of the 2026 rankings was based on the latest World University Ranking 3.0 methodology. And please permit me to spend some time to espouse on the methodology, which encompasses 18 carefully calibrated indicators to assess institutions across 5 key areas, which involve teaching, research, environment, research quality, industry or knowledge transfer, and of course, also international outlook with an overall weighting of 100%. The key areas and their complementary indicators with weightings are as follows. 1, teaching. That has to do with the teaching environment, 29.5. 2, research environment, 29%. Research quality, 30%. International outlook, 7.5%. Industry or knowledge transfer, 4.0%. In addition to the above data, this year, the bibliographic data supplier, Elsevier, provided 174.9 million citations to 18.7 million journal articles, article reviews, conference proceedings, books, and book chapters published over 5 years. The data include more than 28,500 active peer-reviewed journals indexed by Elsevier Scopus database, as well as all index publications between 2020 and 2024. Citations to these publications made between 2020 and 2025 were also collected and analyzed for the rankings to enhance the robustness of the methodology. Finally, to further validate the above criteria, a global academic reputation survey was also conducted among 108,000 astute scholars who provided their objective expert opinions on the world's leading universities across all continents. This was done to ensure balanced spread of responses across all disciplines and countries. And the source is available, which I believe this report will be published, and the source is there for you to see. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the importance of the Times Higher Education World University rankings cannot be overemphasized. This morning, I read on the pages, some social media pages, about the importance, and some colleagues were asking on the UTAC page. Let me use the opportunity to highlight the importance. It is used by several key stakeholders in higher education for informed decision-making. For instance, the Times Higher Education World University ranking data serve as a benchmark for governance to ascertain how the entire higher education ecosystem or landscape of the country is faring, as well as its competitiveness in relation to other universities. In addition, universities, on the other hand, use these rankings as an important benchmark, branding, and marketing mechanism to attract both local and international students and partners, as well as external scholars, development partners, collaborators, and helping them in choosing their preferred tertiary institutions for academic endeavors and excellence. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the rankings are also widely used by faculty to inform career decisions by university leaders and to help set strategic priorities to achieve the mission of universities, and also by governments and policymakers to monitor policy formulation and implementation. Some funders also use the rankings for institutional funding decisions, while other regional and global tertiary education bodies use them to form key institutional collaboration networks. And from where I sit, I'm very much reminded of the fact that the governance challenges we have had has indeed affected some of our colleagues. And we are aware of what happened last year till now. And it is important that at this press conference, we put out to the world that UCC is resilient. We've been in the bad press over the past few weeks. But this performance, sterling performance, also demonstrates our resilience and resolve to work together as a university to maintain our high-quality education, and I wish to commend you all. I wish to also use this opportunity to thank past and immediate past leaders of our university. And with your permission, I start with the Vice-Chancellors. Reverend Professor Emmanuel Adobing. Let's give a round of applause. Her Excellency Nana Jenopuku Agyemang, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. Professor Domri Dabre Kupoli. Professor Joseph Gati Ampia. And Professor Johnson Nyako Boampong. Pro-Vice-Chancellors, former Pro-Vice-Chancellors. The late Professor Kobina Yankson. Professor Haruna Yakubu. Professor Domri Dabiri Kupoli. Professor Joseph Gati Ampia. Professor John Nelson Boa. Professor George K.T. Odro. Her Excellency Professor Dora Francisca Edubuando. And my immediate predecessor, Professor Mrs. I can't forget to put the Mrs. there. Professor Mrs. Rosemond Abuajiwa Bohine. Permit me to also mention our former registrars who have played critical roles in this process. Mr. S. Kofi Ohene, Dr. Isaac Ohene, Nana Kofi Nyan. Sorry, I take that again. Dr. Isaac Ohene. And then Nana Kofi Nyan, Debiahene of Emisano. Mr. Jeff Tay Emmanuel Onyami. And finally, my own brother, Mr. Ebenezer Agri. Former directors of DRIC, Professor Albert M. Abani, Professor Samuel Kobina Enim, and Professor Frederick Ato Ama. So you see that we have stood on the shoulders of giants to be able to achieve our 11111. I thought that would attract an applause. Yeah. Permit me, ladies and gentlemen, to say a big ayiko to the university management, staff, students, and stakeholders for the diverse contributions towards maintaining our enviable position against this year in the 2026 Times Higher Education World University Rankings. Ladies and gentlemen, let me use this opportunity to extend my sincere appreciation to the team at the Directorate of Research, Innovation and Consultancy, led by the Director, Professor David Tay Doku. Prof, thank you. And the former and current deputies for their hard work, dedication to this past half year in particular, in ensuring that adequate and reliable data are submitted to Times Higher Education for the university to be ranked. I wish to use this opportunity to also commend other outfits in the university, such as the Management Information System, MIS, our directorates. I wish to mention the Directorate of Finance, the Directorate of Human Resource, Office of International Relations, Student Records and Management Sections, DICT's Directorate of Information, Communication, and Information Services, and the School of Graduate Studies. I cannot end this speech by mentioning the colleges represented by the provost here, who have chased up our colleagues to write up the papers, the schools, faculties, departments, institutes, centers, and other units of the university for their unflinching support during data collection for the ranking participation over the past 5 years. Ladies and gentlemen, our university will strive to continually establish key networks and strategic partnerships, both locally and internationally, promote activities that would align with its core mandate as a university, and support achievement of its mission and vision. UCC will be intentional about improving and sustaining the next generation of our research outputs. Thus, faculty and staff must be encouraged to be motivated to continually conduct cutting-edge research that leads to innovative outputs, commercialize our research, and more importantly, we patent them for societal benefits. Furthermore, sustaining these feats will therefore require huge investments and, more importantly, responsibility on each and every one of us to be diligent and persevere in fulfilling the university's core mandate of teaching, research, and community outreach services. All stakeholders must therefore endeavor to work assiduously to ensure that our beloved university maintains its vision of being a globally acclaimed university for innovative teaching, research, output, and professional development. Long live UCC, long live Ghana. UCC, the University of Competitive Choice. I've held elsewhere, that is the University of Crystal Choice. UCC, Veritas Nobis Lumen. Thank you all for your attention, and God bless us all. Thank you.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I believe that we can do better for the acting Vice Chancellor for that in-depth address regarding the status of the current university rankings the world over. Boxing enthusiasts here will know that when the bout is ended and the champions retain the title, you hear the announcer saying that, and the verdict, Judge 1 recorded 1-1-1, and still the champions. Yes. So we are the champions. I'll humbly go to the acting Vice Chancellor for his closing remarks.
I think the clapping has been sporadic. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you agree with me that what we are experiencing this morning is an incredible honor that the Times Higher Education ranking, World University ranking, has placed on our university. And we need to recognize that this is a remarkable achievement as the #1 university. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to you all, to everyone, for the hard work and dedication that we have all put into this to get to this point. It's certainly a testament of our collective dedication to academic excellence, innovation in research, and of course, our commitment to shaping the next generation of leaders. Let me underscore the fact that what we are witnessing this morning didn't happen overnight. And as I said, I gave a clear indication of individuals who worked ahead of us, creating the foundations and also the building blocks to where we have reached. And so we should understand that it's certainly a combination of years of tireless efforts from our esteemed faculty, not just the leaders, but esteemed faculty, staff, and students, which has also underscored that we certainly, working together, have a passion for knowledge, resilience, and community togetherness that has propelled us to this pinnacle of success. Let us bask in this glory of this achievement. And in so doing, we are able to acknowledge not just this success, but also the challenges that we face. And the challenges definitely comes with successes. Our ability to overcome those challenges is what makes us resilient. Let's be reminded that our journey has been marked by perseverance as a university, strategic planning, and a relentless effort for the pursuit of innovation. I wish to spend a moment to say this to our students. Let us ensure, as colleagues, and of course, speaking to our students, that your curiosity and creativity and enthusiasm must be the driving force behind our institution's success. The university is about you, about students. To our faculty and staff, your expertise and mentorship to our students and guidance we provide them must empower them to reach new heights. As we celebrate this success, this triumph, it is important to also take a step back to look into the future. What opportunities do lie ahead of us that we can leverage on based on this recognition to further cement our position as a leading institution? These are things that we shouldn't just go out there celebrating, because next year will soon come. And are we going to gather here and say we are #1? I was asking the director what are our chances for next year. He tells me that we really have a lot of work to do. So, in reflection, as we go back, let us reflect on some of these key areas that I think we should explore. Let's rededicate ourselves to research and innovation, research commercialization. How do we build on our research strengths to drive solutions for not just Ghana's development, but Africa's development? Because we are being ranked in Africa. So our impact must also provide regional impact. Otherwise, we'll be losing that ranking on that score. Let us also think about global partnerships. What opportunities exist for us to collaborate with international institutions and industries? One of the things I realized in this university working here is the fact that we tend to partner more with universities than with industry. And I think we need to begin changing that mindset. And it's not because I'm coming from ASCO, but we have formal collaborations just with 5 universities. With international partners, with development organizations, more than 30. You need to go for where the money is. Partnering with universities are good, but they will not give you money. It's ideas. But I think we do have a lot of expertise in this university that we should partner with the public sector, public partnerships, public-private partnerships. These are the things that we need to be looking at moving forward. And because that is what will drive the innovation. Student experience. Sometimes I have a feeling we run a university as if it's not about students. We need to rededicate our efforts to our students and let them have what we all know as student experience. How can we enhance our students' learning experience to prepare them for the competitive world and the complexities of our century? And finally, let us seize this moment to propel our institution forward. Bear in mind the challenges that confront us at the moment, but sincerely, as Acting Vice Chancellor, I will be very happy to fostering a culture of excellence, togetherness, innovation for impact. Thank you all, and congratulations once again to all of us.
And so, shall we do once again for the Acting VC for the closing remarks? Acting VC, permit me to make these few acknowledgements. Ladies and gentlemen, we are grateful to all of you for attending on to us to listen to what good news we have for you. But I have a few of some personalities among us that I want you to know that even though you have seen them here, I need to tell you that they are here. Acting Vice Chancellor, before I go on, somebody has whispered into my ears to ask this question. There's a song, they say that, where the party does something. So, Acting VC and then Director Drake, they are demanding answers from you. And so, Acting Vice Chancellor, it is my privilege to do these acknowledgements, to let everybody know that Professor Dennis Walanyo Aheto, Acting Vice Chancellor, was here. Professor Anochi Mohammed Adam, Provost, Code, Papa Obebi. Dr. Mrs. Mary Obimpe, Director CGS, we are grateful. Dr. Atayabu Sapon, Director DAA, Director, thank you. Professor Michael Boachi Yadom, Director General IEPA, UNESCO Category 2 institution, you are here. And I can see Deputy DG, my brother, also here. Professor, you are also grateful for coming. And the man himself, Professor David Tedoku, Director Drake. And he's here with his deputies and a former deputy, Professor Elvis Amiel. Dr. Branford Bevel, and Professor Dorcas Obriyabua, a former deputy director, we are grateful. Mr. Samuel K. Enyan, Deputy Acting Director, Internal Audit. Professor Precious Agbeku Mata, Acting Director, ISCO. Dr. Jerry Opoku-Ansan, UTAC President. Presdo. Professor John Nelson Bua, former Pro-VC. Professor Isaac Galeon, former Provost Code. Dr. John Ejumazi, Director DICTS. We want to acknowledge the presence of all directors and deputy directors here, all deputy registrars present, and all other heads of departments. And all of you, we are grateful for your presence. I now call on Dr. Patrick Kwampa. Osofu, kindly close us with a prayer. Shall we welcome him as he comes?
As God has brought us to this height, shall we honor him this morning by rising for a prayer? Heavenly everlasting Father, we thank you for a very successful press conference. Once again, we thank you for the height that you've brought the University of Cape Coast up to. We thank you for the leadership and all stakeholders that have contributed to this. We ask that may you help us sustain it and then to soar higher. We commit our departure into your hands, and may you dispatch us with your blessings. In the name of God the Father, of the Son, of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please go in peace. The Mass has ended. As you go, your songs will be "To God be the glory."